It was a picture postcard California beach wedding. The bride wore white. The Pacific Ocean lapped at the altar. The violinist played Elvis Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love. Then, upon being declared husband and wife, Zach Walton and Donnie Geen inclined their heads, puckered their lips, closed their eyes and took long, deep puffs of potent cannabis. A table by the altar had all the accoutrements: pots of cannabis concentrate, a torch lighter to heat it up, and glass vessels known as rigs, through which they inhaled the vapor. The family and friends sat before them minded not a bit. This, after all, was a weed wedding, and most of them had also ingested. Melissa Cunningham, the wedding planner, said the psychic effect you get from it is very calming. Donnie and Zach want to be on the same spectrum going into their matrimony. Donnie Geen and Zach Walton raised their glasses to years of weeded bliss and check out their rings. Photograph Robert Gumpert for The Guardian. Everybody seemed to be on the same spectrum during the ceremony on Thursday at Stewart's Cove, a bucolic beach near Carmel, south of San Francisco. Walton, 30, savoring his first minutes of married life with a joint alongside bridesmaids and groomsmen, all smoking, said, "I'm feeling good. Nice and relaxed, medicated." What had he consumed so far? "I had some dabs at the hotel, a joint, some edibles. Not too much, not too little," he said. It was all legal: the cannabis buds in the bouquet and floral arrangements, the goodie bags with joints and cannabis vapes, the cannabis-infused munchies handcrafted to melt in your mind, in the dab bar at the reception in nearby Monterey, where a pot sommelier in a three-piece suit offered guests different ways to get lightly, blissfully stoned. California voters approved recreational marijuana last November, a landmark victory in the fight for legalization that has paved the way for the largest commercial pot market in the U.S. The smartly dressed weed sommelier presides over the dab bar at the reception venue in Monterey. Photograph Robert Gumpert for The Guardian. Activists and entrepreneurs have found ways to weedify multiple products and services, including weddings. It was news to the catering guys setting up chairs on the beach before the ceremony. "A cannabis wedding, really?" said one, astonished. "Is it, like, a thing?" asked another. To evangelists, it's the future. Philip Wolf, the co-founder of the Cannabis Wedding Expo, which showcases industry products and services, said down the road, people want to call it a cannabis wedding, because bud bars will be normalized. Smoking creates a bonding aspect. People did it in ancient times. It enhances conversations. Luna Stower, 33, a friend of the bride, said cannabis soothed nerves and made couples more romantic. Stower, the wedding officiant and sales director for a cannabis distribution company, had benefited from munching toffee hours earlier made by a company called Mind Tricks. "It's very relaxing. An aphrodisiac and a euphoric sedative that lasts a very long time. It has organic sugar, so it's a quality high," she said. Cannabis-based snacks, just some of the baked goods on offer, laid out for the soon-to-be hungry guests. Photograph Robert Gumpert for The Guardian. The high did not addle Stower's brain. She led the ceremony fluidly, without notes, and made a quip about the couple loving and honoring each other till dab du part. Dabbing is the term for heating a dose of concentrate on a hot surface and inhaling it through glass. Cannabis brought the Oakland-based couple together because they started out as smoking buddies, said Walton, who works on cars. "One thing led to another, and here we are 12 years later," he added. He uses the herb to ease backache, and Geen, 31, uses it for fibromyalgia, tumors and other conditions. "Cannabis has been my medicine and my savior," she said. Not to mention her employer, she works for Harborside Health Center, a medical cannabis dispensary. She wanted her wedding to show that cannabis could be classy, integrated into decor and menus, with the reception hosted at Monterey's Victorian-era Perry House, and safe, with controls to keep it away from children. Geen left off the stereotype of zonked stoners, saying certain strains of pot sharpened concentration. "I'm going to remember my night better than someone who has had a lot of alcohol," she said. Steve Dingello, her boss and guest, agreed, citing Carl Sagan, Steve Jobs, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama as evidence that weed did not engender low functionality. A bridesmaid holds a bouquet containing cannabis buds. Some guests said the weed helped de-stress them. Photograph Robert Gumpert for The Guardian. The drug also did wonders for intimacy, he said. "It opens you to more sensual experiences. It allows men, especially young men, to match their sexual rhythm to a woman's rhythm," Dingello added. Geen reckoned that about 60 of the 70 guests were using cannabis. Some were exultant, like David Nevitt, 34, who dabbed, munched, vaped and toked. "We're at a wedding. Usually at weddings you have to be discreet, do it in the car park. Doing it here right in front of everybody, it feels revolutionary," he said. Others were grateful. Holly Alberti, 34, said, "I've taken several concentrated dabs and I could use some more. The ride over was quite stressful. We got lost. And some, including a pair of college professors, were coy, saying they might partake. They declined to give their names lest Google forever link them to pot. The groom's mother, Aurea Walton, 55, was one of the few to opt out. "I'm Catholic," she said. "So no, I won't partake." Then she smiled. "Unless it's by mistake."